I'm Fenty Beauty Global Makeup Artist Priscilla Ono, and now your professor. And I will be teaching you on how to get your base right, so stay tuned. First things first, you're gonna wanna choose a primer. And at Fenty Beauty, we have you covered. We have 3 primers that you can choose from, all depending on your skin type. We have a hydrating primer, a mattifying primer, and a soft matte primer. All the primers are going to blur your skin and make it look filtered-like. They're going to make your foundation last longer and go on so much smoother. Choose the primer according to your skin type. Next, you're gonna wanna choose your foundation. Now we have 2 foundations to choose from. Both of them are the Pro Filter foundation, meaning that they're both going to give you a filtered-like smoothing effect. They both have a very similar finish. The only difference is that one is for oily skin and one is for dry skin. That's right. This is our hydrating foundation and this is our soft matte foundation. So both are gonna give you that really beautiful finish where it's gonna make you look filtered-like, super smooth, and the great thing about both of them is that they're long wear. So you can get a full long wear out of both of them. Now I have dry skin, so I went ahead and I applied my hydrating foundation. Now for choosing the perfect tone in your foundation, you can go to fentybeauty.com and we have a chart that's going to help you narrow down what shade you are. Now all you have to know is your undertone. Having trouble figuring that out? I'm gonna help you out. When you go in the sun, ask yourself this question. Do you burn easily? Do you burn and then tan? Or do you just tan in the sun? Now, depending on what your answer is, if you tan easily, that means you have a warm undertone. If you burn easily, that means you have a more pink undertone. And if you burn first and then tan, that means that you have a neutral undertone. So depending on your undertone and your shade range, we make it super easy to figure out. Now it's time to set your foundation, and for that, I love to go in with the Pro Filter setting powder. The great thing about the setting powder is that it's also going to help blur and make your skin look super smooth. It's never gonna look overly dry or powdery, and it's always just gonna really melt into the skin while setting it at the same time. Now throughout the day, if I ever get oily, I like to go in with Invisimatte. Invisimatte powder is really great for applying over any oily areas. All it does is absorb oil, never leaves any kind of cast on the skin, doesn't even leave a makeup trace on the skin. A little tip that I like to do, I actually like to go in first with Invisimatte set all over my face because it has this really great skin smoothing quality about it. Then I go over it after with the setting powder to give myself a really locked in application. And then throughout the day, if I get oily or just need a little bit of a blot, I go in with Invisimatte. Now it's time for concealer. And when choosing a concealer shade, we also made it easy for you. We actually paired up each foundation shade to have its perfect corresponding concealer shade. So if you're the color 270 in foundation, you are going to be 270 in our Pro Filter concealer as well. It's that easy. Now, depending on how you like your concealer, if you do like a more brighter and lighter concealer, I suggest going 2 shades lighter than your actual shade. And if you like your concealer to be a little bit more brightening or color correcting, I suggest using a concealer that's either a pink undertone if you have the 100s range of skin tone, a peach undertone if you have the 200s range of skin tone, and a more orangey undertone concealer if you have a 300s or 400s range in skin tone. Now it's time to add some dimension and warmth back into the skin. Now we have you covered for that. For dimension, I love to go in with the matchsticks. And for warmth, I like to go in with the Cheeks Out Cream Bronzer. They're both great products and they each serve their own purpose. I personally love to use both together. I first go in with matchsticks to give myself that dimension that I want on my cheekbones, underneath my chin and jawline, a little on my temples and forehead. And then I go in with the cream bronzer all over those areas, plus a little bit more over the nose and chin, just to really give my skin this sun-kissed look. The great thing about them is that they're formulated to marry right into the Pro Filter foundations, so they actually don't budge once they dry. They also have this really great skin-like look effect, so that your skin is going to look seamless and never like it's sitting on top. All of our products are meant to marry with each other. They're all meant to really lock in and stay on, so you can really trust that you're gonna get that long wear out of them. Now, to choose your perfect shade, the great thing about Fenty Beauty is that we test each shade so that they look great on all skin tones. It really just depends on the look that you're going for. If you want a brighter blush, I always suggest that using a brighter or darker color. If you want something a little more natural or subdued, I suggest going with one of the lighter shades. Now, if you have a more fair or light skin tone, I recommend using the lighter shades. If you have a more tan or deep skin tone, I recommend using the brighter and darker shades. I personally love a monochromatic look. I always love to match my makeup looks with my blush. So for instance, if I'm doing more of a peachy look, I might want to go in with a peachy tone blush like Petal Poppin'. I hope you guys enjoyed my foundation tips and tricks. Again, this is your professor, Priscilla Ono. Make sure that you guys ask all of your questions below. Stay tuned for more of our Fenty University videos, and make sure that you guys are tagging us on your looks. We want to see